Bandwidth for today's show is brought to you by SoftLayer.com. We love SoftLayer here at Talkapolis. They are the greatest hosting company ever. They make everything easy. Check out their website at SoftLayer.com. Thanks again for sponsoring the show.
I'm Dr. Jeff Cornwall. This is the Entrepreneurial Mind. Today I'm going to be talking with Tom White, and we're going to learn about some very fascinating financial software. We'll be back after this message from our sponsors.
Bandwidth for today's show is brought to you by SoftLayer.com. We love SoftLayer here at Talkapolis. They are the greatest hosting company ever. They make everything easy. Check out their website at SoftLayer.com. Thanks again for sponsoring the show.
Talkapolis, the social media TV network for your city.
Welcome back. We're going to be talking for a little bit here with Tom White from iQuantifi. So what in the world is iQuantifi?
Yes, iQuantifi is a financial technology startup. Our mission at iQuantifi is to help people identify, prioritize, and achieve their financial goals. We developed software that helps people prioritize all their financial goals, knowing that they have multiple goals, and how do you address each one, in what order, and to what extent.
All right, so how would somebody like me work with a product like this? How would I interact with this?
Yeah, when we have it finally out to beta, you would simply log in. And based
on my smartphone, or
it'll initially be desktop,
okay,
and then have the mobile app after. And based on your demographics, the system can identify what goals you should be working on, and then simply ask you assumptions about the goals. You know, if you're buying a house, when, to what degree of a house, you know, based on age, retirement, college, things like that. And then the software will prioritize them all and tell you exactly what you need to do step by step to achieve it.
So you're really taking the work of financial planners and trying to bring this to a large audience through this platform?
Yes, very much bring it to the masses. Our target market are those that either don't qualify to work with an advisor, since most have asset management requirements, and those that are do-it-yourselfers who wouldn't typically hire an advisor. So we're not competing with the advisor community. We're targeting a segment of the population that really does not have access to professional advice.
Okay. So tell me, you said you're moving towards beta. Kind of where is this product now?
Last year we finished the prototype.
Okay.
We did some QA testing, and knowing
that's
that
always an exciting time.
It is, yeah. Lots of learning experiences there. And after we knew that it worked, we went ahead and applied to demo it at a software conference in San Francisco called Finovate, which is specific to financial technology startups. And we demoed it, and we won Best of Show.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much beating out roughly 60 other tech startups.
So did that get you a lot of attention with investors? Is that part of the reason you do that, or is it too soon to be bringing in much money at this point?
I mean, right now we're bootstrapping it.
Right.
Really want to get it to beta and get feedback from users, and then at that point, really look to raise Series A and look to scale. In terms of the interest, what's interesting, and I'm sure you know this with dealing with a lot of startups, is there are a lot of different ways you can pivot, a lot of distractions as well.
Right.
So one of the distractions that came about from the success at Finovate were financial institutions asking us if we would like to white label. And so, you know, that was a nice piece of interest, although it really wasn't the way ultimately that we wanted to go. We wanted to get it out to users. Those are the constituents really that are going to tell us.
That had to be tempting though, because I'm sitting here trying to think about the revenue model for this, and to have some banks and other big institutions write you some big checks to licenses, it had to be tempting.
Very, very much so. One thing is it takes, you know, there's quite a bit of a lead time to work with a large institution and having them incorporate our platform. Second of which, one of the key things to iQuantifi is the fact that it provides independent advice. So we don't necessarily want one institution to, all they do is provide their own products. The purpose for iQuantifi is bringing the user to the point in which we know that they need financial products to accomplish a goal. You know, whether it's a mortgage with buying a house, or life insurance, or even, you know, investment products. And then bringing the proper institutions and the proper products to these users so that they're buying what they need. No more, no less, and really the right type of product. So having multiple institutions to essentially vie for that user is key.
Helps the user out.
Absolutely.
So how do you generate revenue with this thing?
Through our business plan, which we have multiple phases, as many as 5, we actually have as many as 8 revenue streams. But in the core part, in phase 1, which is what we're building, the main revenue generator is in which institutions are going to pay iQuantifi a referral fee for providing the user at a point in which they're ready to make that decision, in which the user knows exactly, which product, to what extent, as well as where they're even going to get that money. So part of the software deals with their cash flow, in that the advice is never empty. If the user is advised to purchase a 15-year mortgage, they know that that payment is very much within the parameters of proper financial planning.
Gotcha. And then some of the other revenue streams that you hope to happen as well?
Ultimately, there will be an opportunity for users to hire an advisor. We want the user to very much have a one-on-one relationship with an advisor that already is out in the community, has a shingle up, is a practitioner, knowing that our system really deals with basic financial planning. So those that are higher net worth, more complex, that's not our objective. It's to get them in which they're accomplishing goals, and then when they're starting to build wealth, that's where the advisor really fits the model. And so that we call our uptouch, and that comes once we've scaled, obviously.
Right.
Another part is what we refer to as the expense planner, in which we understand that certain financial goals, take the house for example. When somebody looks to purchase a house, they're not just saving up for the down payment, they're looking to buy a living room set or a lawnmower. And so with the expense planner, they can plan these purchases already and then select this specific item. So here, just as we bring financial institutions on the core system, we'll bring in retail institutions. Once again, bringing the user and these institutions together the right way.
And just take a little bit of the cash flow from those transactions then?
Well, in that iQuantifi's revenue will come from these institutions paying us a referral fee, an ad fee. The second phase, right after, because the expense planner as well will be a later phase, is what we refer to as recommended cash flow. This is where my advisor speak comes in which the system identifies where the user can save on specific expenses to be able to then free up cash flow to save for their goals.
Right.
Yeah. So that is very much a mobile app, in which, imagine you have somebody in a car dealership, they know they're going to purchase a $20,000 car and they're enticed with a $22,000. Now trying to figure out, okay, if I get this $2,000 additional, how does that affect my other goals?
Right.
And they're able to then see that in real time and make those decisions. Yes.
So you've had some big challenges, I'm sure, along the way, and give us just a couple of quick pivots that you've had to do to adjust to some things.
The main challenge for us is the fact that I'm not a technologist. I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur and financial advisor. And so finding the right chief technology officer, the right team to lead this has been a challenge. We now have that, but it took some time. Because up until the point in which you actually have a prototype, all you have is an idea and a business plan.
Right.
So here, the fact that we want to Finovate, we have a prototype, we were able to attract the right person.
Have you had any surprises from the market so far? Because you've done a little bit of testing where you went, oh, we didn't anticipate that.
Not yet, and honestly,
that's coming.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
and that's the thing why we went to Finovate is, when you're just in the 4 walls, you think you have such a great idea.
Sure.
Yeah, everybody thinks that, so we wanted to get it out there.
What could possibly go wrong?
Right.
Yeah.
And once we got it out there, and then we got the feedback, it was very nice. But I do very much anticipate a lot of pivot points and a lot of things that you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, how do you get word out about this kind of a product? Because there's so much out there now, and so what's your plan to let pretty much a mass market know about this product?
Yeah. Other than the traditional, internet marketing, SEO, SEM, and public relations type of campaigns, there are 2 specific ways that we believe we will identify users. One is what we refer to as triggering events, the pain points.
Right.
Certain things happen in people's lives, whether they lose a job, they get an inheritance, they're going to have a baby, eventually leads to financial decisions, and thus seeking advice. So if we're able to target them specifically in these kind of instances, and there are ways in which they go and search, and we're able to
Right.
capture that, that's one. The other is through a social media concept, essentially peer comparison. Other people won't necessarily have these pain points at certain times, but they want to know, how am I doing relative to my peers?
Right.
And then getting them to then improve their financial situation based on knowing that, it's kind of keeping up with the Joneses, but in a good way.
So are you going to try to reach those who may not even recognize that they have a problem, or their head's down in the sand? Because
Yeah.
so far you're dealing with a ready market. There's a big market that's not going to be ready for this.
Yes.
But need it probably at least as much.
Very much so. The recognition with the team is that this is something that people don't realize they need, but they very much do. And so we have to design it in a way in which they want it. And then they'll come to realize that the need being there. One specific target market within the two main ones is what we refer to as novice planners. And these are essentially the people that kind of live paycheck to paycheck. And they view financial planning as paying bills or budgeting, but that's not really what it is. And so to be able to have them come into a system that's automated, that's free to the user, hopefully then educates them and gets them moving forward to accomplishing goals.
Well, I'm excited to see this roll out, and I think you've got a great time in terms of, there's a lot of pain in the market in terms of finances, and I think that's not going to change. So I think you've hit onto something that might have a lot of
Thank you.
a lot of success. So we wish you the best.
Thanks
for joining us today.
Thank you very much.